Okay, good morning everyone. We are at Delaware Technology Park in Newark, Delaware at our regulated LCMS bioanalytical site. This is the main entrance where our friendly receptionist is diligently working away, and she would be here to greet you if everything opens back up and you're here to visit. Okay, we're going to start our lab tour. And the first place we're going to look in is the sample receipt area. This is where the magic starts. So the samples are brought in here. They're inventoried on dry ice. We use Watson LIMS as our system to track samples as well as manage data. Once the samples are inventoried, we have a large freezer farm here with restricted access for sample coordinators only. Again, we use Watson to track where everything is at all times. You can see we have a large storage capacity here for our LCMS samples. All the freezers are on the Reese monitoring system, so temperature is monitored 24 hours a day. It's tied to a cell phone system that can call designated individuals in case there is an alarm. The power for the freezers is also on a backup system that's pipeline fed natural gas. In the event of any sort of power outage, your samples will be safe, they will not be compromised. This is also tied throughout the labs to the freezers that contain calibrators, QCs, and all the working solutions. From here, we're going to go into the actual wet labs where the sample processing is done, and I'll continue to explain some of our daily processes. Okay, we are entering our wet lab space now. You'll notice the first thing that everything is under yellow light. We do this to protect and prevent degradation of any light sensitive compounds that we may be working on. So the video may look a little funny, but again, we do this as a precaution to ensure that nothing degrades while it's being handled. The wet lab space are set up throughout. We have a number of different working areas. They're equipped with biosafety cabinets where the sample pipetting takes place. So the actual sample pipetting into the plates, the internal standard edition, is done here. And then most of our methods are semi-automated, so additional solvents for extraction will be added using our TomTech Quadra systems, and we'll be taking a walk down there as well. So you can see that that's the Reese system node that's tied to all the freezers that I mentioned earlier. We've got our analysts working diligently in the lab on their sample prep. We maintain a large fleet of mass spec systems. This is one of the labs that houses a few of the instruments. We'll go down to the larger mass spec lab in a minute, and I'll provide a little more detail on the systems that we use there. As I mentioned earlier, this is our automation lab. This is where the TomTechs are housed. This is where most of the extractions take place to finish them up. Those are serviced and maintained by TomTech engineers on a routine maintenance schedule. This is the last of the wet labs here. We use this when necessary also for more highly contagious samples, since we can close it off and cordon it off as a dedicated workspace without a lot of walkthrough taking place. Okay, we're about to enter our large mass spec lab. This is where the bulk of the instruments are situated. We utilize a fleet of SciEx instrumentation that includes API 4000s, API 5000s, and a combination of 6500 and 6500 plus instruments. In terms of number, capacity-wise, we have 16 4000s, 4 5000s, and 8 6500s. We utilize Shimatsu Nexera systems as a UPLC front piece. That maintains consistency if anyone needs to switch from instrument to instrument. The data acquisition software analyst is fully validated with the necessary Part 11 audit trails. Data are acquired here directly to the network, and then data processing is done back at a remote workstation and digitally transferred to our Watson LIMS system for final regression and data output. We have, as you can see, a large fleet, and we do have on-site metrology team that manages the calibrations, preventive maintenance, and most on-site repairs. So from a timeliness standpoint, we're not left waiting for outside engineers to come in and service instruments if there are issues. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour, and as things open up again, we do look forward to being able to host you in person so you can come see our facility for yourself.